Today, we're going to cover cross-table bank shots, okay? We're staying in the one box, so half table, okay? We're not talking about long banks in this scenario, okay? So we're talking about bank corners and bank sides going cross-table, all right? So pay attention. This is a real easy way to get a real firm grip. Not actually, you want a loose grip, but a real firm grip on how to aim these shots, okay? So these ones are with pace, okay? They're going to be at least a 6 weight, 6 to 7 or 6 to 8 weight, okay? You need at least a 6 weight in order for these to go. So when it's on the line, I'm going to show you the line. So we're at right on the foot spot. So that's the rack spot, okay? That's where our object ball goes, okay? So we're going to take 1 to 3, diamond 1 to diamond 3. 1, 2, 3. And here is 1. 1 to 3, okay? That's a little different line because we're hitting with pace. So it's not an even triangle, okay? But when we hit with pace on that line, okay, so that's where we aim. The object ball, we're going to be aiming right for diamond 3. I'm going to put it straight on for this example so you can see. You hit with pace and the bank will go all day long. Okay, almost on any table. Okay, now there are some tables with really slippery cloth, and it still usually goes even when it's slippery cloth, but sometimes you may need to put a little bit inside or hit even just a little firmer. Okay, so that was just below center. I played on the cue ball. As you can see, the cue ball didn't move very much. It just came back about 6 or 7 inches. All right. So what about to the corner? Okay, now we're going to reverse the 1 to 3. We're going to go 3 to 1. Should bring us right here, right? It's the same angle, guys. So I'm going to line it up 3 to 1. We'll make sure it's straight on, and we'll hit it with about a 7 weight. Okay, all day long, those banks will go with a little bit of pace. Okay, now I know that there's times when you need to hit it soft because you want to set it up or whatever. That's a different lesson. Those are different angles. These are banks with a little bit of pace. Okay, guys? So what happens if you're not right on that line? Good question. Let's check it out. Okay, guys. What if we're not right on this perfect line here to go to bank side? 1 to 3. Okay. What if the object ball maybe is here? Okay. Well, how did we determine where to line up now? Okay. Well, it's easy. You just take that same line, 1 to 3. Okay. Now follow me here. You're going to take that line. You're going to parallel shift halfway to the object ball. Okay. Halfway, not all the way over. Halfway right to there. Okay. Now my tip is in place. Okay. You see my tip didn't move, but I'm shifting the cue over the object ball. But the tip is still in the same spot. So now this becomes my line to make this bank side with pace. Okay. All right. So I'll show you another example of that after. Let's just make this ball. Okay. Again, about a 7 weight and all day long. Okay. So let's look at another example. Okay. This time we're going to leave the cue ball where it is and let's just place the 8 ball right here. Well, let's make it a tiny bit easier. Right there. Okay. So we could go bank corner or bank side. Let's just use the bank side, for example. So I'm not worried about where the cue ball is, okay? Doesn't matter. This is the object ball. That's what we're going to be lining up in this shot. So again, I'm going to take the 1 to 3 line. I'm going to shift halfway to the 8 ball, keep it all in line, right there. Okay, so now I have my aim spot, okay? So I just have to hit this with some pace right for where my tip is, okay? So I'm going to keep the cue ball where it is, and we'll just hit this with some pace, and we'll make the bank side, okay? Well, we scratched as well. Okay, and let's reverse it and go bank corner. Okay, let's just say object vol is about right there. Okay, actually, let's make it a little harder. Okay, right there. So I'm going to take the 3 to 1 line now, okay, because I'm going to be going bank corner. So I'm going to take this line, I'm going to shift all the way to the 8 ball. No, halfway to the 8 ball, all right? Halfway. There we go. There's our aim spot. I'm going to put my tip right along the diamond line. Okay, I'm going to keep it there. I'm going to shift over the 8 ball so I can see my bank angle. Okay, bang, right there. All right, so let's hit it with a little bit of pace and let's make this bank. Okay, first try on all these shots, guys. All right, so it's a good way to measure out banks when you're hitting them with a little bit of pace, especially when they're not quite center. They're both off just a little bit. It's a good way to line them up. Okay, hey, what if your object ball isn't in the central part of the half table here? Does it still work? Yes, it's a little more difficult because there's more space to parallel shift, okay? So there is a little more room for error if you're not really good at your parallel shifting. But I'll show you 1 to 3. Okay, so we're going to take that line. We're going to shift halfway to the object ball, which is the 8. Okay, so right about here. Okay, so let's shift it over, keep it in line. Bang, about there. So I can see I'm using the diamond line here, guys. This line here. And when I shifted, I'm about an inch or less than an inch just to the outside of that second diamond, okay? So if I want to keep my tip in place there, shift over the object ball, I can see my line. Keep in mind, guys, that if I'm aiming for right here from this angle, I'm actually going to be contacting the rail up here, okay? Not in front of it, over here. So from the camera's angle, it may look like I didn't aim for that spot, but I'm aiming on the diamond line, not on the rail bed, okay? So let's just put this in, aim right there. So I'm going to be making contact with the rail here, aiming for this spot, okay? Let's bank side this, put a little draw, hit it at about 6 weight, try to keep the cue ball on the table. All right, so there we go. So yeah, it does work almost anywhere in this half table area, okay? So it's an easy way if you're just not sure. I mean, eventually you're going to have to get to automatic aiming. If you watch Efren and a lot of the other pros, if they have a bank like that, they don't really do any lining up stuff, okay? It becomes automatic after you do it for a while. While you're learning these angles, and if it just doesn't feel comfortable, it's okay to run a double check, okay? Run a parallel, use that system, or there's some others too, but use that system to check out your line to see if you're accurate with your automatic aiming spot, okay? So it helps. Let's make these shots. We'll talk soon, guys.